Hello, everyone. Today we're looking at Mad World. Oh my god. This game is, it's pretty crazy. There are a few games on the Wii that were very questionable, that were very much M-rated games. And so because of that, because you're making an M-rated game on the Wii, it was very, very interesting and questionable as to how you went about that. No More Heroes is one of them, but Mad World is the other one that a lot of people kind of reference. And so the setup of the game is actually pretty interesting. Essentially, this entire city has been taken over by terrorists, and they've turned it into one of these, killer game shows. There's some movie that does the same thing where they turn LA into this basically giant apocalyptic hellhole where people kill each other, but it's for the entertainment of the rich. So something like The Purge or Squid Game or something, but it's very much freeform. And so it kind of implies this thing is like very well organized. And so you can sign up as a contestant to enter this complete anarchistic city and join in with the carnage. And so people will like become your sponsors, bet on you, bet against you, and very much like boxing or wrestling or something. Of course, it's how gruesomely you can kill someone. And so we play as Jack, who I think is also voiced by John DiMaggio, so you're going to get some Marcus Phoenix vibes from this game. And it's really cool because not only, it's basically a brawler, but there's a bunch of environmental damage stuff in the environment, and it is like third person over the shoulder kind of, so it's not exactly a traditional brawler either. Jack also has this cool thing where he's a chainsaw arm. Everything about this game has like, it kind of hits the right limit and the right style for everything. Jack has a distinct voice, personality, design, level, art style, and that's the other thing too. Is I have to compliment this game for going really hard on the art style itself, because it's so simple. It is literally black and white with red for the blood and a bit of yellow here and there. But yeah, this game is one of the most graphically intense games I've actually ever played. Just from the kind of weird ways. I know it's abstract, but you kill people in extremely gruesome ways, and something that'd be akin to maybe like Manhunt or something. A big part of the game is also it has a combo system. So of course you can go around punching guys, knocking them down, and then just chainsawing them to get through the level. But the real fun comes in with the environmental stuff. So there's certain things where you put, tire things around, people's waists, and then you can impale, like a signpost through their skull. There's another one where I had like this scythe or something, and you use it as scissors, and you like chop the guys like in half. This game, even though it's cel-shaded and kind of abstract, tries to be as gruesome and as bloody as possible. Some of my favorite things are electric fences or spike walls, where essentially after you're done torturing a guy, you can basically throw him into one of these walls. You can push him up against a subway as it's, coming by, put them in, fire pits. Stick a bunch of like needles in their head, basically a cel-shaded torture simulator, basically. Pretty crazy. But yeah, again, you have pretty basic attacks where, you use your fists, chainsaw if you just want to get rid of a guy. But the best thing is to beat him up a little, stun him, and then do like environmental damage to him, and that'll increase your score by a lot. And what I also love about this game is that it incorporates the cheesy motion controls of the Wii. So you can do the swing and flip of the Wiimote in order to make sure some guy is impaled on some public service announcement thing. Yeah, the only drawback I think of Mad World is that it gets maybe a little bit repetitive. Once you've kind of done all the combinations, it is a pretty cool, fun game. But there's a limit to exactly how much cool stuff you can do, and at a certain point, it becomes a little bit tedious. The other thing about it too is that the game is just not very long. There's maybe like 5 or 6 levels, and once you've done them, you don't really have a huge incentive to go back. The bosses are okay, and what I got from the trailers is I thought the bosses would have a lot more personality, but that's really not the case. They're very kind of disposable, throwaway forgettable guys that are just like little challenge things. And, you know, besides that, without a real reason to go back into these levels and do a bunch of new stuff, like there's no new game plus thing, or like, oh, you unlocked, you know, this new mechanic or this new thing to, you know, attack people with. The incentive just isn't there. Another thing I do have to say about the game is the main theme is absolutely killer. It has great energy. It's a lot of fun. And I think the other thing too about this game that I enjoy is, again, just how the stylistic elements of the game kind of all come together and make this gruesome, cool package. And it also has this comic book style to it. You also have finishers you can perform on enemies as well, but the game itself feels kind of more or less pretty basic. Another thing that I noticed was you can pick up different kinds of weapons, from like iron bats, machetes, giant scythes and scissors and stuff, and do special, and each one has a special kind of finisher for them, which is really cool. Jack also is a very obscure character. He's only appeared in one other game, which is like some free-for-all, something like a weird brawler fighting game, and I didn't really even realize it was him because it was in full color. But yeah, so Jack has appeared in one other place in this weird fighting game, basically, but for the most part, this is his only game. But yeah, it's very distinct, very unique, very interesting. Mad World is a very cool game, and I love I love Jack's dialogue. It's very cool and a lot of fun. But again, the game itself kind of gets boring after a little bit. But regardless of that, it's really about a one-time experience. This is a really cool experience that I do really recommend, because it is so distinct. And I enjoy the fact it's only like 5 or 6 levels, because that's perfect for the time limit of what the game kind of allows or is intended for. Oh, something I forgot about. My favorite aspect of this game is actually the commentary. John DiMaggio is one of the commentators in this game. That's who he is. And you have these two guys who are doing commentary on everything Jack does, from how he kills his people and saying, oh, that guy had a rough day at the office. They just have so much good chemistry, and it's so much fun to listen to them. My favorite thing is they're even still talking in the credits. So the credits are going by, and they'll have things like, oh, the producer is like, what does that guy do? It's like, oh, I think it was the guy that brought in pizza that one time. Like, oh yeah. God, it's just so funny. But yeah, the game is divided into brawler sections, and then you have sections where you have to do these little mini games where you have to throw a bunch of guys into a giant turbine, or on the these railroad tracks, and you have these little challenge moments where it'll say, okay, you're just going to do this one type of execution in this one specific area. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the game. Again, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool and a different type of game on the Wii. And just if you want to see what this game is like, it's definitely worth it. But anyway, that's pretty much Mad World. Great game. See you later.